Alright guys, welcome to another Player's Handbook Battle Report, and today we've got a 35-point game with Skorne versus Circle. And we've got Melanie versus Philip today, and doing a little scenario. It's Moshpit, so for you guys that don't know what that is, there's a 16-inch diameter circle in the middle of the board. Starting at the first player's third turn, at the end of his turn, if he controls it and his opponent doesn't, he wins. And on the next turn, if the second player controls it and the first player doesn't, they win, and vice versa. So it's a cast or kill game with a little bit of edge in it. So playing Skorne today, we got Philip.
What's up, guys?
And he's going to run us through what we got.
Alright, I've got an Ancestral Guardian, a minimum unit of Praetorian Swordsman, minimum unit of Praetorian Carax, a minimum unit of Immortals, an Extoller, Zal, Hokar the Destroyer, a max unit of Beast Handlers, a Rhydon, a Gladiator, and then I've got a Kovus, which starts the game out of play.
Alright, his opponent today, it can be Mel. And Mel, what are you playing today?
I am playing my Feral Warpwolf, my Narhorn Satyr, my Stalker, Epic Chaos, and Laris, unit of Warpborn Stalkers, and the Druids of Orbos with their unit attachment.
Okay. Anything special about your list you want to tell us?
Well, it is a tier 4 list, which makes all my heavy war beasts advanced deploy and a point cheaper. It makes my skinwalkers advanced move, and it gives me a +1 to my dice roll to start the game, but didn't matter because I'll let Bill go first.
Alright guys, so you know the deal.
Alright, so we started with my skinwalkers over here doing their advanced move. And then Phil, what'd you do?
Alright, started off with my Swordsman running up to the edge of the circle. My Carax moved up, walked up and shield walled. My Immortals moved up. My Ancestral Guardian walked forward. Extoller moved forward, Car moved, Zal activated, walked up. He has 360 line of sight for casting spells, so he cast Awakened Spirit on the Rhydon, which allows him to use his Animus for free once per turn. He also cast Indomitable Resolve, +2 Armor and Fearless on the Swordsman. The Rhydon riled for 1 and ran. The Gladiator put its own Animus on itself for 2 and ran. Zal, on his activation, I forgot about this, he spent 1 Fury to put a soul on each of the Ancestral Guardians, and then the Beast Handlers ran forward, ending my turn. Then, Mel, what did you do on your turn?
Let's see here. I started with my Druids over here, and the Overseer actually cast Elemental Protection, which gives them immunity to a whole bunch of cool stuff. Then the Leader actually cast Counter Magic, and the rest of them just put little cloud effects into play. Next thing is my Stalker, rob for 2 and charge that guy over there. And then my Narhorn Satyr, rob for 2 and just kind of went over here. Then my Feral, rob for 1 and ran over, or charged over here. Once again, he charged that same guy. Then Kea cast the Forced Evolution on my Stalker. She also cast Shadow Pact, which gives everything in her battle group stealth.
Alright guys, this is the board at the end of Skorne turn 2. First thing I did was I leashed my Fury. I upkept my 2 spells. Then I started off with my Praetorian Swordsman, declaring a charge against these guys. And I knocked the 2 of them that I could get into contact with down to about 1 or 2 health each, so I'm pretty happy about it since it was dice -9. The Carax moved up 5 and shield wall. The Ancestral Guardian walked 4. These guys walked 4. He walked up. The Car moved forward. The Rhydon moved from about here to here. The Pain Givers kind of shuffled around a little bit and enraged the gladiator. Zal activated and cast the gladiator's animus on the gladiator, and then sat on 3 of his fury. And pain givers, they already enraged him, so the gladiator then charged. He gets +2 inches movement. And Pathfinder, which is big on this, charged into the feral and did about half damage to him. He got in there, missed with half of his attacks because of defense 14, but when he did hit, he did a good amount of damage, so we'll see what happens next.
Alright guys, circle turn 2. Melanie, what'd you do?
Alright, so leashed my fury, upkept Shadow Pack and Forced Evolution, and then she moved up just a tiny little hair and popped her feet, and then she cast Dogpile on the gladiator that was over here. Is that what it was? Okay,
Yep.
yeah. It wasn't good for the gladiator. So my feral that it had been trying to eat turned around and knocked the crap out of it, and then yo-yoed over here. And my stalker charged in and just killed it, and then yo-yoed over here. Then my Gnawhorn Satyr charged the 2 guys that were standing right there and knocked them both. And then yo-yoed back over here. And then my little skinwalkers just kind of flailed around over here, didn't really do anything. And then my druids pushed that ancestral garden way back there with Force Bolt. Moved it 6 inches total. And then they Force Bolted over here and killed 2 little guys that were standing there. So yeah.
Alright guys, scoring turn 3. The game's still going. He did not win my scenario this turn. So Philip, what'd you do?
Well, started off, I didn't have any leeching to do, so I upkept my 2 spells, and then my immortals, they gained +2 inches of movement because they started within the command range of an Ancestral Guardian. They charged the druids and these guys, killed 2 druids, and finished off the 2 really badly damaged wolves that were here.
Just a point of interest, one of the druids killed was the Overseer.
Yeah. Then these guys activated movement in combat here, dealt a point of damage. This Ancestral Guardian spent a soul token, started back here. This was the one that got pushed back 6 inches by the druids. Spent a soul to get 2 inches of movement, and then ran, so he moved 10. The Karax that were here kind of just moved up shield walled, trying to block the weight of my last heavy. That's really going to hurt now that I only have 1 left. The Rhindon actually slid back over here. Hakar slid up a little bit, and then the Beast Handlers moved here, and the Extoller ran over there. Bazal stayed where he was and camped his 4 Fury. So I'm probably going to have to start cutting him soon, or riling my Rhindon, which I didn't do this turn for some reason. So that's the end of my turn.
Alright guys, here's the board at the end of circle turn 3. Mel, what did circle do this time?
Alright, so my stalker charged and went berserk on the guys that sounds like cataracts.
The shield guys.
Yeah, he ran up, went berserk, and killed all 4 of them. But it took 3 fury to do it. And then my skinwalker over here killed 1 of the guys that was standing next to him. Then my feral walked over and killed the other 2. And then Kay kind of walked forward a little bit. She cast Dogpile on that guy over there. And then Laris kind of came around her. And then my druids swung at these guys. They did manage to kill 1 of them, so I'm okay with that. These other 2 moved this way and Force bolted that guy backwards 5 inches between the 2 of them. And then my Satyr ran around here and killed the little Soul Keeper.
Alright guys, this is the end of Skorne turn 4, and a little bit of a comeback has come back on because it was Zal's feet turn. So before we did anything, I had no upkeep spells, So Hokar got to make a vengeance move. For the Karax that died here, he dealt 1 point of damage to the Stalker that was here. The Immortals activated and did their vengeance moves, and every single one of them missed the attacks against the Druids. I've never seen it happen. It was very frustrating, but, you know, it happens.
Sam.
After that, I activated Zol first. He didn't spend any of his fury, and he just popped his feet. And for those of you who don't know, Zol's feet, for every friendly living faction warrior model that was destroyed, you get a rage token. And so I got something like 12 or 13 rage tokens this turn that anybody in the army can use to boost melee, attack, and damage rolls. And everything in my army is close combat oriented, so we had a lot of fun this turn. Zol stayed put. Beast handlers, one of them enraged the Rhydon while the rest charged in, all of whom missed, but they tied everything up, which was good. And then I activated Hokar, who, through a combination of attacks, 4 attacks, killed off the Stalker that was here. The Ancestral Guardian that was here killed the Feral that was here. The Immortals that were over here finished off most of the Druids who passed their command check. Then the Rhydon that was over here, who was enraged, so he had to make a charge. He charged the Gnarlhorn Satyr, and with his reach attack, left it with about 11 health left. So let's see what Circle can do on their turn 4. Should be interesting, guys.
Alright, this is the board at the end of Circle, turn 4. Mel, what went on?
Well, my druids, both of them swung at this guy and missed. My Skinwalker just walked back. Cass moved back just a tiny bit and cast Forced Evolution on Laris. Laris walked around in front of her. Then my Gnarlhorn Satyr trampled 2 of the pain givers that were here and hit this guy like once and did a tiny bit of damage.
Boom, guys. Skorne turn 5. Philip, what'd Skorne do?
Started off by leeching Fury, had to leave 1 on the Rhydon. It failed its threshold check and swung at the Gnarlhorn. Did a little bit of damage.
It missed.
It missed?
It missed.
Oh, that's right. The car finished off the Gnarlhorn. It missed, so it did nothing this turn, basically, which was frustrating. I then activated the Immortals, who killed 1 Druid. Those Druids have been by far the most annoying thing on the board this game. Beast Handlers then activated 1, medicated, healed the Rhydon for 1 point. The rest kind of moved around these, and 1 moved into the Gnarlhorn, dealing it a point of damage. Hokar then was over here, charged the Gnarlhorn, killing it with a combo strike. This Ancestral Guardian, who was muzzled, so he can't move forward towards Gaia, moved back, so I'm trying to block lines of paths to get to Zol. Zol then activated and put 1 soul token on this Ancestral Guardian right here.
Circle turn 5. Melanie, what'd you do?
Alright, Gaia didn't have anything to leech because she leeched it all whenever the Satyr died. And she didn't upkeep anything. And then Laris ran in between these 2 guys right here, took a free strike from the Handgiver that was there. Took 6 damage, but he made it over to Zol. Then Kea cast his Animus and popped within 2 inches of him. And wailed a little bit on Zol, but done 7 damage. He threw once.
Next Skorne turn, the end of the game. Phil, what happened?
Alright. No upkeeps, nothing to leech, and so my Immortals made their vengeance move and finally killed off that last Druid. Then I went ahead and started by activating this Ancestral Guardian, who killed Skinwalker here, winning the game for me via senario.